Hello everybody, check out the fit, check out the fit. Today is a very important day to me. You know, everything comes full circle. When I tell you I've been thinking and learning so much, I am not capping, bro. So don't let the crash outs and stuff get to you. Don't let it go over your head, okay? These are things that had to happen. You know, sometimes I look at situations in my life and I'm like, why did that happen? That makes no fucking sense. It came out of the blue. I'm minding my business. What's the problem? I'm gonna tell you a few things I learned, okay? I'm wrapping it up here and I'm letting it go after this, okay? But I'm still gonna move forward with the lessons that I have learned, and we're gonna keep it cute. We're gonna keep it real cute. Okay, we're gonna keep it cute. But today's a very important day for me. You know, a lot of people don't understand what this day means for me. July is just a crazy month for me in general. There's so much to talk about. I've been talking about all the things that need to be addressed, but there's a lot to be grateful for. You know, in a lot of these situations that happens, I come out alive. You know, maybe there's mental implications to it, but I come out alive and I'm grateful for that. That's one. Very appreciative of how lucky I get sometimes. Not just sometimes, actually all the time. You know, things could always be worse and somehow they just don't turn out that way. And I really appreciate that. And I don't take that shit for granted at all. But, you know, I really sat here. You guys are probably thinking you're completely missing the whole plot here. How did this start off with the cops and now it's just all different things, right? But again, I told you everything is connected, right? This person followed me. By the way, I'm not letting off on this. You're gonna see that I'm standing on business with this. I've been checking every day my email. They received my complaint, but they haven't done anything about it yet. You know, should I make a pit stop at the station? Let me just show you a few things. Here, boom. 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 Go watch these videos. Boom. Yet they're putting it in our face. And yet I'm supposed to not make a big deal about it and just keep my mouth shut? Gang, what the fuck is that about? Anyways, I'm not missing the plot, right? This random ass person followed me. What did that make me learn? I have problems with privacy. I have people who didn't respect my boundaries in my real life. Fuck a stranger. What about your real life? There are people who don't respect your boundaries. There are people who don't care for the privacy and underestimate you. They think you're just a vulnerable, harmless little girl that's not gonna do anything. And then you showed them that you know a thing or two, okay? That's one. People don't respect my boundaries and they don't understand my process, even though they sit in front of my face and it seems like they understood it. They didn't, because sometimes I don't even take in my process. I don't take in how much I fucking did, what I actually went through, because day by day, you know, we're trying to focus on this day, right? This day that we're living right now. I'm actually just living in the healed version of myself, just moving on with life, trying to be happy, bringing a smile around everybody, even if I had a very tough life, you know, a very tough life. Sometimes I even forget about it. So, you know what, that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna take shit too personal, but I'm gonna move with the lessons I learned. That's one. Then I went to the cops. I thought they would help me, protect me, whatever the case may be. They laughed in my face. What did that teach me? Here you are being so upset about a cop, right? What about the people in your life who directly laughed at you or who wanted to belittle you because of all the situations you've been through? You keep giving them a chance, right? You keep giving them the chance, but you're holding that cop accountable. And that's really how you feel. You woke up that day, decided, nah, you laughed in my face. I'm going to the station and I'm telling you a thing or two about yourself. I'm writing this report and I'm doing all this stuff because I want to change. And that directly showed me, damn, in my real life, there are people who fucking laughed at me, and this whole time they acted like I didn't fucking know because I was giving them grace. It's okay. It's time for me to move over. You know, and a lot of people might be like, oh, this is where discernment comes in, right? A lot of people will be like, oh, what did I do for this to happen to me? Is this karma? You know, some people, it's karma, right? The universe has to teach you something because you were actually not a good person. You did things that were not good, okay? But if you move and you know you're a good person and you aren't on some malicious type shit and things still happen to you, it's not because it's your karma or you deserved it or whatever. Sometimes it's because you're too good of a fucking person, and you refuse to see the bad in people, right? You refuse to see the things that are not good for you no longer align with you, right? So the universe will put a big situation because they know, okay, these little jabs, they don't mean nothing to you. Okay, you're still gonna be around this person, still have confidence, you know your truth. But these people are a liability. These people don't care about you. They don't have good intentions. You need to remove them. And or if you can't remove them, you need to remove yourself. A lot of times there's lessons to be learned, even when you're not the one who did anything wrong. You know what I mean? Even when you are the good person and you know, follow through with life as a healed version of yourself, never taking or projecting anything on other people, that doesn't matter. You still have to learn things. You're not going to be stagnant. You're always going to learn something from anything. Anything in life could be a lesson. So what I learned is, one, that's already a big lesson right there. I learned it. I clocked it. Thank you. Right? One, when you are the worst version of yourself, when you're toxic, when you're going through bad situations, you will have the most friends. Because people, you know, who refuse to change will see that and be like, oh my gosh, I could be comfortable around these people because they will not make me change, right? They believe that there's nothing wrong with them, there's nothing they should work on, and it's everybody else's fault, okay? So that's why you'll have the most friends. And you will see who's real and who's not. You know, sometimes the real ones have to leave. We all started at the same place, right? We could have grew together, but you decided not to. And don't get mad at people when they leave. Number two, I hate the term victim. Not because victims don't matter, victims are weak, but because the real victims are always the ones who get ignored, right? I don't even want to call myself a victim. I hate that term. I've always told people in my life, I hate that shit. They face a situation that they didn't even fucking want. They didn't even fucking ask for. They don't even know why the fuck that happened to them. But they still, behind the scenes, kept going. They built the strength to, you know, be strong for it. They tried to change their life. You know, when you really take that in, that is actually so crazy. There are people out here who are actually evil, actually not changing shit. People who you call a victim, they're the ones who are moving in silence. They're changing their life even when they know it's not their fault. They changed even when, you know, nobody told them to. They did all this shit behind the scenes that nobody really clocks, and nobody fucking says a thing, never gives them their credit for it, even if they do. You know, it's just some fake shit sometimes because they always look at you as the thing you went through, not who you are now, not who you became, not your journey, nothing like that. They just look at you as, oh yeah, you're just that bitch that went through something like that. And you might always be that bitch. They deal with the consequences of whatever situation came in their life, even after the fact, even years later. The people who know about it just look at them like, oh yeah, you're that bitch. You're that person who went through that shit. That's weird. That's a weird thing to say. That's a weird thing to do, to knock people down when they're already down and then knock them down when they're trying to get up by themselves. And then I hate the term victim, most importantly, because a lot of people who don't even deserve to be acting like the victim, who are the ones causing harm, they're the ones who act like the victim, who aren't strong enough to be like, you know what, I fucked up here, take accountability, you know, change their life. They sit there and they act like the victim. You're not the victim. And you will see, even sometimes people can admit, oh yeah, I'm very good at playing the victim. Why would you even say that to my face, bro? I clock that shit. Why are you okay with that? That's not okay. Boom. That's another lesson I learned. 3, okay, sometimes you have to make hard decisions, stand on your healing journey, and that's fine. It's a difficult thing, right? But when you move through life, and I always tell people, yes, you know, I might give people the benefit of the doubt. When the time comes when I need to leave them, that's fine. And everybody's like, what? Why don't you have pride, ego, and you're not scared to be embarrassed? Bro, I've been publicly humiliated many fucking times in front of many people. I don't give a fuck, right? I don't give a shit. And also, if I'm moving with a good heart, why the fuck should I ever care if you decided to take that for granted? Why? I know the truth. You know the truth. That's all that we need. Me and you, we know the truth. And even if people don't show it, even if people will go through life acting like things are fine, I know they feel it. I know they feel it. So playing with a good person's heart never ends up well for you, honestly. I invest a lot of my time and my effort into people. A lot of my time is spent into people. It's an investment. Sometimes an investment works out. Sometimes it fucking doesn't. okay? But regardless, I'm gonna be straight. I'm gonna be straight. Let me tell you that. Regardless, I know who the fuck I am. I know what I brought to the table, and I know the tables do turn, right? So I'm not sitting here, I'm not gonna laugh at people. I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, I should have known better. It's just, you will learn a few things, and that's just what it is. You will learn a few things. 4, your absence will teach people things. You know, I don't gossip, I don't do all these things, but sometimes I get around people and unprovoked, they will tell me other people's business. And even when people do me dirty, I leave and I hear things about them. I don't laugh about it. I just say, damn, that's crazy. You know, hope they're doing good. Honestly, I've been sitting around and my family has been really opening up to me about their stories. A lot of my family members. And like I told you guys, I really relate to like the older people in my family, not the younger ones. I mean, the younger ones I relate with other things, but the older ones is like the trauma, all these things, right? So yesterday I came home and my dad was having a full-blown deep conversation with me, telling me about what he was doing when he was young. And my dad don't really like talk on shit a lot of times. So I appreciated that conversation. And I seen that, bro, from all the things that I've known about you, you have a even deeper story, right? But I never looked at him and I was like, yo, I know you're just somebody who don't go through shit. I've already seen the change in him without knowing the full story. You know, I gave him that benefit of the doubt. So when he started telling me all these things that he was involved in, I'm like, I know where I got my strength from. I already told you guys, I've been known where I got my strength from. All my family members, the lore is crazy. The lore is crazy. Every single one of them, when they tell me a story, I'm like, yo, you know, now I don't feel so alone. But now I know there's like a family thing. It's passing on and it's like a whole thing. But I am happy that it ended after me, you know. The younger ones, they don't have too much lore, you know, they might have things, of course, everybody has things going on in their life, but the lore that compares to the adults, yeah, I'm just glad they don't go through shit like that and they can live a peaceful life and chud max and do what the fuck they do, because there's a reason these things had to happen, right? So when I look at the people around me, I see very strong people. And like I told you guys, strong ones will survive. Strong ones stand up. And that's why it's important for me to have strong people in my life. You know, it's not that I want you to be strong 24/7. I know how exhausting that could be. But I could be there for you when you don't want to be strong no more. And I would hope that you could do that for me, because you understand how it is to be the strong person in the room all the time. So a lot of situations, I haven't even gone into it. A lot has been happening behind the scenes, and my grandma's birthday is coming up too. So everything is full circle, right? Everything is just full circle. You know, even from years ago, you could be a good person, but don't ignore the signs. That's the lesson I always seem to learn over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. I've learned every other lesson except for this one. You could be a good person, but don't overextend yourself. Don't do all these things for people who don't care, who don't reciprocate. And also don't close your damn heart, right? Because your heart, people need that. That's why when even people seem like they don't even really fuck with you, they keep you around because they know your heart is good. There's a reason why. They can't tell everybody what they've been through, but they will tell you because, oh yeah, you had a bad situation happen to you, and they know you won't judge them, right? So it's like the same thing they belittle you for, the same thing they make fun of you for, is the same reason why they come to you for help. And that's crazy. And you can't have those two things together. Gotta understand that. Move over, gang. Understood it? You know, I'm very appreciative for my experiences in life. I am very appreciative of my noggin. I'm very appreciative of just the truth. You know, the truth of what I've been through, my story, my come up, all these things. I'm appreciative that I never gave up on myself, even when everybody tells me that I should. Basically, they could sit here and say, oh, you're strong, but they never really believed in me when I took it in. They never really seen me as somebody who was actually growing. They just seen me for my situation. And do I really want people like that in my life? Do I want people in my life who keep thinking that I am something that I didn't even cause upon myself? Really? I can't keep not being able to move forward, and this is why I feel stuck, because everybody just fucking sees me as this person. You need to know yourself. And so today I'm dropping all of this, right? I'm gonna start giving you updates about the cops, but I'm moving on with my life. I had to process this in this way because there's so many things that connect, and it really showed me the importance of thinking about the right shit, thinking about things through the truth. This is why people look at their situations through rose-colored glasses or through victimization. And so they can never fix their problems because they always think that they're not the problem. That's why you keep going through the same shit, even little things you can't solve, because you are the person fucking that shit up, self-sabotaging it, and that's you. I'm dressed to impress today. I bought this for a while now and I didn't wear it, but I feel like, you know, I've been kind of bummy these past few days. But today's the day where I want to dress for the occasion, you know? Today's the day where, you know, I'm blossoming. I'm just taking a lot of things in and I'm appreciative. And my grandma's birthday's coming up and I feel like she's also somebody who's been looking down on me and giving me that strength too, being like, you know what, I'm seeing everything you're going through. You're going to be fine, like you always are. You are going to be fine. Actually, you're gonna be better than fine because there are things that you need to get rid of. And on this journey of life, you deserve good shit too. You deserve to smile as well. And you know, you smile every day. You really do. You come around everybody and you smile, but you deserve people, moments, blessings. But you can't have these things with certain people around because they don't have the best intention for you. Do you feel me? So yeah, it's all up to discernment. You know, it's all about that. I'm really appreciative and I'm just gonna move forward with grace and love and positivity, redirecting my love to the people who actually care. And you know, again, shout out to everybody who's actually been there for me, never looked down on me and thought I was just some fucking idiot. Bare minimum, by the way. But thank you. I appreciate it. I never forget about it. Even though I sit here and I'm addressing stuff, you know, I do like to address the love as well, because the love is what keeps me going too. Thank you for everyone who listened to me during this time. I know we just went from day in the life, week in the life to boom. But I just wanted to show you guys behind the scenes. This is the shit I deal with. Somebody might need this right now, you know, to see like, bro, this is not a perfect life. Of course, I'm a strong person, you know, I keep a lot of things behind the scenes. I don't talk about it too much. Nobody has a perfect life, right? When you sit there and you laugh at people and you think everything's a joke and you belittle people, just watch out for that. Everybody's going through a lot of fucking things. So this day, I haven't expressed every single thing that I felt. This is just the recent, you know? This is just the recent. I'm just gonna move forward. Very grateful. We're gonna have a great day today. And that's just it.